Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of What If Civilization Started Over. This is a new series I'm going to be starting, and you might be saying, Geobus, I thought you already had a Wixo series. Well, that Wixo series, is kind of hard to make, and I've gotten a new mic, and I'm able to do it on my computer now, so that is why I'm restarting the series. If you guys enjoy these videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's just get into the scenario. So, we are going to be starting this series in modern day, like Egypt. And the people here, they are profiting off the Nile, and they soon go down and just start to explore areas surrounding them. They explore areas over here, and they go down to and follow down the Nile River basin. They also explore areas over here, and they also explore areas down through like the Red Sea. I don't know what the sea is called. Sorry, I just wanted to look up what the sea is called, but I can't find the name for it. So let's just continue with the series. We can see the red team going down and discovering more areas along this coast. And they explore more areas along the Nile River. And I think the Nile River goes like do. And soon a new country is formed. And this country is going to be known as the Red Team. And the Red Team grows power very fast because because people are just figuring out like what a civilization is and what a society is. Like, before that, everybody was just like making cities, trading, and doing stuff, but now they're actually like starting to make a society. We can see the Red Team expanding into the Sinai Peninsula and discovering it all, but they don't really want the Sinai Peninsula because it's not like the best place and it's not the most wanted place in the world. I feel like the most wanted place is probably like I think like the Netherlands or like East Coast to United States, because it's like very developed and also like very easy to settle on. Is it? I don't know. I'm just speaking random stuff, so don't quote me on that. And we can see them expanding down lots more into into the Red Sea. And they go through, cut off this area, and they fully discover it. We can also see more exploration going out westward, and they find modern day Libya, and they settle and make a little city right here. And we can see the Red Team going out and expanding more, or discovering more areas, and they also go through up into like the Israeli-Palestine area. I'm not just going to say Israel because that would trigger some people, I think. And we can also see them landing on Cyprus and discovering it fully. We can also see them going into Sicilia, as I now know. And they take a lot of areas of it, but soon they stop because they have some internal issues to deal with. And over the years, the Red Team expands out a lot, discovering out into more Mesopotamia or the Middle East. And starting to discover out more of what the world is. And they also land again on modern day Turkey and take these areas. And they start to see that the world isn't that small, and the world is very vast and large. They also explore more of the other side of the Red Sea, and they start to see that they can make a lot of money off of fishing and trading and just make a monopoly off of the Red Sea. Sorry. But enough with exploring. It's time for the Red Team to expand. The Red Team expands into the Red Sea, and their leader says, if we want to expand and make everybody rich and have a good society, we need to make money, because their only money was from like the barley and stuff that was in the Nile River or in the river delta. And they start to expand more into the Sinai Peninsula, even though this area is not the most valuable area, and they take the southern half, and soon they take all of it and even more into modern day Saudi Arabia. And we can see them going down and taking these areas. You can also see them going down more on the other side and like kind of making these areas look the same. But we can see the red team expanding more into the desert, but they don't expand a lot. And they also follow the Nile River, and they just take all this. But the red team's people are starting to become a little disconnected from the government. The government is more about money, and the people are more about stability and just infrastructure. I don't think they have infrastructure, but like a good economy. And the people start to get mad about the government's way of handling things, and soon people start migrating out, trying to find better lands. They go through these areas of Libya, and they start to wrap down, and these people, they find an area where they can call home, even though it's not the best area, but they still do settle here. And the red team, once they hear about this, they are very mad, and they send their royal battalions and militias out, and they go through, and they get lost here. They're like, okay, we can't find them, so we're just gonna go back. And they go back through the Sahara, and soon they just die. And when a rescue team goes out to look for them, they connect up, and they discover a lot of these areas. But soon these people are captured and sent back to the capital, where the leader personally kills them. And people in the red team are starting to get mad about the leadership, and how when two people don't do what the leader wants to do, they discipline them and kill them. And we can see people from the red team collecting up and staging right here, and then they march towards the Capitol building and storm it, burn it down, and kill the leader. And a new oligarch is placed in power, and he is much better than the old leader. He focuses on both economy and money, and he also just tries to consolidate the people, and sorry about that. And the red team expands out here, and it starts to let their people explore out and settle on areas as long as they stay under the red flag. And we can see a group of people migrating out and under the red flag temporarily, and they go through and they find out that there's a lush area, and they call it Bambalaya. And Bambalaya is just amazing for them. They literally have like everything that they could have wanted, because this is modern day Mesopotamia and modern day Iraq. And the people are called Bambalayans that live there, and soon more people from the red team want to see if Bambalaya is as good as it says in the stories. And even the leader makes a long walk towards Bambalaya, and he sees that Bambalaya is much better than he thought it was. So he invests a lot of money into Bambalaya, and soon the people in Bambalaya become rich from the resources and just from the government funding that they are getting. And Bambalaya starts to become very popular, and more people start to migrate there. And the government sets up a tiny colony right here, but it's not really a colony, but a tiny area right here. And this area becomes very rich because Bambalaya is like very has a high demand, and people start to move there a lot, and they need more land, so they take more land. But soon the government funding becomes too little of money, but the government funding becomes too little enough of money to just keep them afloat, and so they need to find another way to make money. And when you need to find a way to make money, you're desperate. And so they start to explore. A massive disease goes through the red team, and lots of the red team population starts to go down. And they kind of forget about their colony over here because its popularity kind of slowed down. And soon they just fully forget about the colony, and soon they fully forget about the colony. And the colony starts to say, hey, guys, and supply routes start to slow down, and soon there's only about 0 a year. And they just start doing their own thing, and they just expand out, or they just discover more areas out here. And as the red team finally remembers their colony, they declare their independence from the red team. And the red team hears about this, and they get outraged, and they send a message towards the leader of the new blue team. And they say, "Why did you leave? I thought you said that you would stay under a red banner." And the blue team's like, "No, you left us for 30 years. Why would we stay with you if you can't even remember a whole another part of your country?" And the red team's like, "Okay then, we're not hurt at all. Just go do your own thing." And the blue team's like, "Gladly." And the blue team starts to become more economically stable, and more like their population has a higher happiness rating than the red team, because their leader actually cares about their people and actually cares how they work, how they live. But the red team isn't fully behind because they are able to explore more of these areas and just get a better understanding of the world. A group of explorationists from both the red team and the blue team start an operation that is to explore more of the world. They start in the south and slowly make gains, but soon they start to pick up more fast. And even though the Sahara, or not the Sahara, but there's a large desert here, they say, "We will not stop until we die." And even though this like mission is tiring and hard, they persevere and they push through, and they start to discover more of Arabia, and they halt their expansion or exploration in Arabia, and they start to push up more into Mesopotamia, and they discover more good lands. But soon the train of good lands stops, and they do discover Turkey, and they start to take more of it, and they meet up with the northern area of Turkey, but then they kind of just stop. Well, they do discover all of Turkey, or all of mainland Turkey, and we can see them expanding more into the areas of the Caucasus. But that is going to do it for today's episode. I know it was slow, I know it was kind of not a lot, and I know it's kind of short, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of these types of videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.